I still remember the exact moment my world shattered. It was 2:47 a.m. I was lying in bed, staring at my phone, reading messages I was never supposed to see. Messages between my partner of 4 years and someone they'd been seeing behind my back for 8 months. 8 months! The room started spinning. My hand was shaking so badly, I dropped my phone. And in that moment, something inside me broke that I didn't even know could break. It wasn't just my heart. It was my sense of self, my confidence, my ability to trust my own judgment. Because here's the thing nobody tells you about betrayal. It doesn't just make you question the person who hurt you. It makes you question yourself. How did I not see this? What's wrong with me? Am I not enough? If you've ever felt this way, if you've ever looked in the mirror after betrayal and didn't recognize the person staring back, this video is for you. Because what I'm about to share isn't just theory. It's the exact 3-step system that pulled me out of the darkest period of my life and rebuilt my confidence from the ground up. Stay with me. Your transformation starts now. The weeks after I discovered the betrayal were brutal. I couldn't eat. I lost 15 pounds in 3 weeks. I'd show up to work, but I wasn't really there. I was just existing, going through the motions like a ghost in my own life. But the worst part? The absolute worst part was what was happening inside my mind. Every time I looked in the mirror, I saw someone weak, someone stupid, someone who should have known better. I started avoiding my friends because I was convinced they were all thinking, wow, she really didn't see that coming, did she? I remember one night, about a month after everything imploded, I was at a coffee shop. A guy smiled at me. Just a friendly smile. Nothing more. And you know what I did? I immediately looked away. Because in my head, a voice screamed, why would anyone genuinely be interested in you? Look what happened last time you trusted someone. My confidence wasn't just damaged. It was obliterated. I became hyper-vigilant about everything. Analyzing every text message, every social media post, convinced that everyone was hiding something. I built walls so high that I couldn't even see over them anymore. Then one day, I hit rock bottom. I was sitting in my car in a parking lot, crying so hard I could barely breathe, and I realized something terrifying. I was letting someone who betrayed me continue to control my life. Every single day, I was giving them power over my present and my future. And that's when something shifted. I made a decision, a promise to myself. I whispered it out loud in that car, with tears streaming down my face. I'm going to rebuild myself. Not back to who I was, but into someone stronger. That was the beginning of everything. Now, I'm not going to lie to you and say it was easy. I'm not going to tell you I woke up the next day and everything was sunshine and rainbows. Rebuilding your confidence after betrayal is messy. It's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Sometimes it's 1 step forward and 3 steps back. But over the next 6 months, I discovered 3 specific practices that fundamentally transformed how I saw myself. These aren't just feel-good exercises. These are practical, actionable steps that rewire how your brain processes self-worth. And I'm going to break them down for you right now. The first step is what I call truth excavation through journaling. Here's what most people get wrong about journaling after betrayal. They either avoid it completely because it's too painful, or they use it to ruminate on what happened, replaying the betrayal over and over like a horror movie on repeat. Both approaches keep you stuck. What I discovered was a different type of journaling. Every morning, I'd write 3 specific prompts. Prompt 1. What is one thing I know to be true about myself, regardless of what happened? This was hard at first. Some days I could only write, I am breathing. I am here. But over time, these truths got stronger. I am loyal. I am capable of deep love. I am resilient. Prompt 2. What is one red flag I missed? And what will I look for next time? This isn't about self-blame. It's about reclaiming your power. Betrayal makes you feel foolish, but when you identify patterns, you transform from victim to empowered observer. You're gathering intelligence for your future self. Prompt 3. What is one thing I'm grateful for today? Gratitude rewires your brain. Literally. Studies show it activates the prefrontal cortex and reduces toxic emotions. Even when everything felt hopeless, I could always find one thing. The sunset, a kind text from a friend, the fact that I survived another day. Within 3 weeks of this practice, something remarkable happened. I started to see myself as separate from what happened to me. The betrayal was something that occurred, but it wasn't my identity. The second step is boundary setting, which I call building your fortress foundation. Here's the truth bomb. Betrayal often happens because we didn't have strong boundaries to begin with. Or we had them, but didn't enforce them. I had to get brutally honest with myself. I had ignored signs. I had accepted behavior that made me uncomfortable because I was afraid of being too demanding or pushing them away. The irony? By not setting boundaries, I pushed myself away. I abandoned my own needs. So I created a non-negotiable list. These were my new boundaries. I will not tolerate dishonesty, even about small things. I will not ignore my intuition when something feels off. I will not sacrifice my peace for anyone's convenience. I will not allow anyone to make me feel guilty for having standards. But here's where most people stop. They create the list and never enforce it. Enforcement is everything. I practice saying no. I started with small things. No, I can't cover your shift. No, I don't want to go to that event. Each no was a brick in my fortress. Then I had to set boundaries with myself. This was the hardest part. I stopped stalking my ex's social media. I deleted their number. I stopped telling our story to everyone who would listen because I realized I was re-traumatizing myself. Boundaries aren't walls to keep people out. They're gates that let the right people in. And when you start respecting your own boundaries, something magical happens. You start respecting yourself again. The third step is strategic affirmations, what I call the identity upgrade. Now, I used to think affirmations were cheesy. Standing in front of a mirror, saying, "I am confident," when I felt like garbage seemed pointless. But then I learned the science. Your brain has something called neuroplasticity. It can literally rewire itself based on repeated thoughts and patterns. Affirmations aren't magic. They're strategic neural reprogramming. But they only work if you do them correctly. You can't just say random positive statements. You need affirmations that target your specific wound. My betrayal made me feel unlovable and foolish. So my affirmations were, I am worthy of honest, loyal love. My intuition is powerful and I trust it. I choose people who choose me with clarity. My past does not define my worth. I said these every morning while looking at myself in the mirror. Even when I didn't believe them. Especially when I didn't believe them. And here's the key. I paired them with evidence. After each affirmation, I name one small proof. I am worthy of honest love. Evidence. I showed up honestly in my last relationship, even when it was hard. Within weeks, my inner dialogue shifted. The cruel voice that said, "You're not enough," got quieter. A new voice emerged. You are becoming who you're meant to be. 6 months after I started these 3 practices, I went on a date. And for the first time since the betrayal, I wasn't terrified. I was curious, present, confident. Not because I knew everything would work out, but because I knew, no matter what happened, I would be okay. Because I had rebuilt myself, brick by brick, word by word, boundary by boundary. Listen, if you're watching this and you're in the thick of it right now, if the wound is still fresh and you're wondering if you'll ever feel like yourself again, I want you to hear this. You will not just survive this. You will become someone you're proud of. But you have to commit to the work. These 3 steps, journaling, boundary setting, and affirmations, are the foundation. And remember, betrayal tried to break you. But you're still here. You're still fighting. You're still standing. That's not weakness. That's power. Now go claim it. I'll see you in the next video.